really important that we begin to change the mindset of young people to know that your vote counts.
They don't understand that the legislative arm of government is actually a co-equal arm of government.
We have an incredible amount of potential.
Whatever it is I was doing, because of my personal DNA, it had to be of an international standard.
Which is what, seriously speaking, is all about. Welcome to Seriously Speaking. We are still in the highlight zone in this edition of the program. And like I always tell you on this show, we discuss fundamental things, but from a serious angle, whether it's entertainment, politics, or just plain fun or wellness. Whatever it is, we discuss it from a serious angle. Now, today I've titled this edition of Highlights Tear Jeckers because it's going to make you cry. It made our guests cry. It made viewers cry when we first aired it in 2014. But I'm rerunning this simply because there were things that people learned from the psychiatrists that we had on set with us that helped them be able to cope with losing a loved one. When you lose a loved one, it's like a memory is gone. How do you get to deal with that? And the story of the two ladies who shared this experience with me, things have moved and they're happier people, but whenever they go back in time to that time when they lost their loved one, a husband and a mother, it still brings back a lot of tears. But like our psychiatrist says, those tears help you to heal. We'll take a trip back in time to that edition of Seriously Speaking, where we jerked you a little with some tears. Oh, you lost your mom?
Yes.
In a plane crash.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
It was one of the most devastating things to go through.
Which of the plane crashes was
It was
this one?
Bellevue Airline, 2005.
Oh,
She actually,
105?
Yes, 2005. She was coming in from France. She went to represent Nigeria at a UNESCO conference because she was a director then in the Federal Ministry of Education. So they went to have a meeting, do policies and, come back and set things in order. And I spoke to her a day before she flew. And she just seemed at peace and she seemed happy. And I told her, the very last thing I told her was, I love you. And she was like, oh, really? And I was like, yes, I do.
What moved you to say that? I wonder.
I don't know. I just wanted to let her know, to reassure her that I loved her. I actually told her not to fly the next day. I told her, stay back in Lagos when you come. But she said, nah, I miss your father. I miss your sisters and brothers. I want to go see them in Abuja. So she got in and went straight to Abuja and, well, didn't make the journey, you know that.
Where were you when you heard?
I was in Lagos.
No, where exactly were you?
I was at home and my sister called me. Betty called me and she said, Gloria, we're waiting at the airport.
Is Betty older or younger?
No, she's younger than I am.
Okay.
So they were all waiting. They all went to pick her up because she'd been away for a long time, for a few weeks. So everybody wanted to surprise her. So my dad, everybody went to the airport, to Abuja airport, to pick her up. And they were there for a few hours. And then they called me and said...
I think I have a photograph of the family somewhere. I'm sure that's what's going on.
Yes. And they said, the plane hasn't come. And I went, what do you mean the plane hasn't come? But we're waiting.
I remember that flight.
Yeah.
Because there was waiting for a long time before we knew exactly what happened.
And there was exaggeration in the media and news reports. Oh, we don't know where this is. It was a gruesome time. Just that wait, just that long, indescribable, painful wait. I went crazy. I started cooking. I started folding clothes. I started trying to read a book. Anything to just go through those few hours into the next day. Yes, I did. I did. I had that knowing that something had happened. I had that knowing. And one way or the other, call it, I don't know what to call it, but the truth is, my Bible fell open and I read Isaiah 57 verses 1 to 2. The righteous are taken away, and they're taken away from the evil that is to come. And I knew that by faith, God was trying to tell me something. And so that was how it happened.
Okay, before I discuss that, because I know that today it's going to be painful to speak about these things, but you can smile again. And you did write a song for her, which is You Can Smile Again.
That's right.
If you don't mind, I want that's Mommy.
Yes,
that's
my
Mommy.
mom.
You're right. I'm Babe. She's now with the angels.
Hi, Mom.
So I like that. It sounds like a melancholic song, but it's a deep song, and it's in your latest. It's your first album actually.
That's
You've done a
right.
lot of singles.
Yes.
But now, first sing that song, and now tell me the journey to getting that single out.
Okay. Right away?
Go ahead.
Okay. Get up from those ashes. Don't listen to the voice of shame. You can speak to that situation. It can turn around again. I tell you that you can't smile again. Ooh, I can be your living witness, 'cause I've been through the prisons and caves. But this song I sing is deliverance. My pain is now your gain. I tell you that you can smile again. You can smile again. Every battle you fight, every battle you fight, you are blessed to survive. You are blessed to survive. For every tear that you cry, every tear that you cry, there's a wonder inside. There's a wonder inside. So you can rest in the arms of the comfort that I give. I tell you that you can smile again. Ooh, smile again.
I'm glad that you're here because I really don't know why I picked you. And I know the first time I met you and we talked about you, I just like who you were. And then I don't know how it came out that you were a widow. And when I talked about sharing your story, first thing you told me, Auntie Adesuwa, I don't want to be a poster girl for widowhood. But then again, you've managed to get it all up together. And I'll tell you one thing you told me, and that got me thinking. When I asked you what it was like to be a widow, you told me about one night that you woke up in the middle of the night, and then you went to turn on the generator. That's when you realized, I am really alone. You remember that?
Yes, I do.
You know, and what's your husband's name?
Chukwuneye Madarisi, but most people know him as Okla.
What did you call him?
Okla. Because he was unique, it was sweet. So he called me babes, but I called him Okla.
Okla, what does Okla mean?
You know, the funny thing is, you would not even imagine how Okla came about, because it's actually a name that he hated so badly. That is Okoloma. So he hated it so much, and everybody, for some reason, he changed it into Okla. So I knew him for such a long time as Okla, but I never knew it was from Okoloma. When I found out, he was like, who told you my name was Okoloma, you know? So it's actually from Okoloma, but everybody seems to think it's Okla from some place, but yeah.
Your husband passed also in a plane crash, just like Gloria's mom.
The Sosolito plane crash.
A lot of people talked about all the children that lost their lives, the children with the headlines. There were a few adults there, but somehow the children kind of, you know, overshadowed it.
Yes.
Even for you, you know, when you, because you were at the airport in Port Harcourt, also waiting.
Yeah, I was 7 months pregnant with my second daughter. I was not exactly at the airport. I went to the airport when I heard it had happened, but I was 7 months pregnant, and like...
Nobody stopped you from going to the airport?
Nobody could stop me. You don't stop. I mean, it's not something you want to... At that point in time, you don't even think it's real, it's happening, you know, because I got a phone call. I had sent my driver to pick him from the airport. I had taken my daughter to the salon to make her... I mean, we talked like 10, 15 times before that he boarded the flight, you know. So, because we were best friends. So it was something that your friend is coming back home and you're just waiting, so eager to see him. So I am from Delta State, he's Anambra. And I learned how to make all the okazi and the onubu and all his favorites. So I said, you know what? He had just traveled on Thursday, was coming back on Saturday, so just 2 days. But I was like, oh, my husband is coming back home, so I'm going to prepare his best meal, pounded yam and all that. So I sent the driver to get him from the airport. Then I got the call. And
what was the call? From who?
From the other end, I heard, it started from, he was at the airport waiting, and he kept on saying the flight was being delayed, and my husband would normally be late for flights, you know. But this day, he was so early. He had left on Thursday, he was supposed to come back on Sunday, but I was 7 months pregnant. I don't like him leaving the house, and I sent a message to him Friday after work. I was alone at home. I said, please come back home. I'm lonely without you. And that made him change his flight from Sunday to Saturday. So he was in a hurry to come back home to his family. And his nephew was on the flight from school too. So that was the reason why he didn't change the flight, because he wanted to bring his that was his first holiday ever. So, yeah, so he didn't change his flight because his friends were there. My driver called, and from the other end, all I could hear was, "Madam, they say plane don't crash." I think I was dark for like 60 seconds. I didn't know where I was. The next thing I heard myself do was the loudest scream ever. And my neighbors came running in and they were like, "What happened?" I'm like, "My driver just told me this." And they're like, "Seriously, was your husband on the flight?" That scared me even more. Because I'm like, so a plane actually just crashed, you know? Then I got into the car with my neighbor, and we were in the car, and we held hands, and we were praying fervently. We were speaking in tongues. I didn't even wear slippers, nothing, you know?
And you were under 30.
I just turned 30 that year, yes. So, and then still, I mean, I had faith that he was alive. I seriously believed that wouldn't be the end, because you don't see it coming. It's not something you want to ever imagine happening to you. So
why do you worry about being the poster girl for widowhood?
I don't think it's being a poster girl per se. I mean, there's something about the Nigerian mentality of widowhood, you know, and I faced a lot of challenges being a widow, right? I refuse to be that face, as in...
Describe that face for me.
Almost being stigmatized, being pitied, being in lack, being in hunger, being in debt, you know. I took a decision after my husband died. I mean, my husband was my best friend ever, so I lost somebody that I loved so dearly. It's 9 years, I'm still not married because I can't seem to move on. But I made a promise and a vow to myself. I did a tribute to him on the dailies, and I said, you left because you knew I'll be able to take care of your children, and I promise I'll do you proud, you know? And since he died, I've always had to work triple hard, because I said to myself, I won't be that widow. I won't be pitied. I won't beg. I won't have to borrow.